I was watching a conversation recently that stuck with me. A woman was talking to her new boyfriend about her ex-husband. She was angry, clearly still hurt, and she said something many people say in moments like that. He ruined my life. He ruined my life. He ruined the kids' lives. And I paused here because psychologically, that sentence is doing a lot of work, a lot more than it appears to be doing. Affairs cause real damage. They rupture trust, destabilize families, and force people into lives they did not choose. There's no minimizing that. But ruined is a very specific word. Ruined means finished. It means beyond recovery. It means nothing more meaningful remains. And when you actually look at her life, that isn't true. She lives in a beautiful town. She has a beautiful home. She has 3 healthy children. She owns her own business. She has relationships. She has resources. She has a future that is still very much unfolding. Her life wasn't ruined. It was diverted. That distinction matters more than we realize. Psychologically, when people say, "You ruined my life," they're not making a factual statement. They're expressing the magnitude of their pain through absolute language. Under emotional stress, the mind compresses complexity. One betrayal becomes the headline that swallows the entire story. Anger plays a role here. Anger narrows focus. It simplifies cause and effect. It gives us a clear villain and a clear explanation. That's regulating in the short term. It helps the nervous system stabilize after shock. But there's also something else happening. Saying "you ruined my life" externalizes everything. It places the entire burden of meaning, loss, and suffering onto another person. And as long as that story holds, agency is suspended. Because if your life is ruined, there's nothing left to author, only something to mourn or resent. That's why the phrase is so harsh. It isn't meant to be precise. It's meant to wound back. It says, you carry all this now. You are responsible for everything that hurts. But psychologically, no one has that kind of power. People are responsible for the harm they cause. They are not the omnipotent authors of another person's entire existence. When we speak as if they are, we quietly hand them authority over our future as well as our past. There's another cost to this language. When a chapter is labeled ruin, growth can start to feel like betrayal. Healing can feel like denial. Moving forward can feel like minimizing what happened. But if the story shifts even slightly, if the language becomes, "my life changed in ways I did not choose," something important returns. Grief becomes appropriate. Anger has a place, and eventually authorship comes back to the person who's actually living the life. This isn't about invalidating pain. It's about restoring proportion. Words shape the psychological space we're able to move in. When we use catastrophic language, we trap ourselves inside it. When we name injury accurately, without turning it into annihilation, we leave room for dignity, agency, and something still worth building. So the question isn't whether betrayal hurts. It does, deeply. The question is whether calling a painful deviation a ruined life helps us heal or quietly keeps us stuck inside the worst moment of the story. That's worth thinking about.